Time flies. You know it. I know it. One moment you're a kid, playing outside, feeling like summer will never end. The next thing you know, you blink, and years have disappeared. I first realized this when I stopped remembering what day it was. Not because I was busy, but because every day felt the same. I knew it was Friday only because I didn't have to work the next day. And that scared me. I wasn't living. I was just going through the motions. Has that ever happened to you? If you stop for a second and think about it, you probably have vivid memories from your childhood, your first day of school, the first time you saw the ocean, your favorite birthday party. But what about last week? Can you remember exactly what you did on Tuesday? Chances are you can't. And it's not because nothing happened. It's because your brain didn't bother to record it. The truth is, time isn't actually speeding up. We just experience it differently. When we were kids, everything was new. Our brains had to work harder to process all the new sights, sounds, and experiences. This made time feel stretched. But as we get older, life becomes repetitive. We wake up, eat the same breakfast, drive the same route to work, come home, scroll through our phones, go to bed, and repeat. And because there's nothing new, our brain skips over these moments. It stops recording them. Scientists call this the time unit paradox. The more predictable our lives are, the faster time seems to pass. That's why a week-long trip to a new country feels packed with memories, while the last 5 years of your life might feel like they've disappeared. And there's something else, the oddball effect. Studies show that when we experience something unusual, our brain stretches our perception of time. This is why a surprise or an unexpected event seems to last longer than a regular moment. It's not that time actually slows down, it's that our brain pays more attention. So if your life feels like it's on fast forward, it's not because time is slipping away, it's because your brain is on autopilot. But the good news is, you can take back control and slow it down. I started experimenting with this myself. The first thing I did was break my routine in small ways. I changed my route to work, tried new coffee shops, listened to different music, and even switched up the way I did everyday tasks. And something weird happened. Those days felt longer, more memorable, because my brain had to actually process them instead of skipping over them. Then I realized something even more important. I wasn't creating enough anchor moments. Think about the last time you had a really strong memory, maybe a trip, a night out with friends, a big life event. Those moments feel longer because they were emotionally significant. But why do we only create those moments a few times a year? So I started planning more of them. Not big, expensive events, just small changes that made my days feel unique. A spontaneous dinner with friends, watching the sunset from a new place, taking a weekend off social media and actually being present. And I noticed something. The more I did this, the slower time felt. But the biggest shift happened when I started paying real attention to what I was doing. Because the problem isn't just that life is repetitive, it's that we're never fully present. How often do you eat while looking at your phone? Have a conversation while thinking about something else? Walk down the street without noticing anything around you? When you don't pay attention, it's like that moment never happened. Your brain doesn't register it. It gets erased. So I did one last experiment. I slowed down. When I ate, I focused on the taste of my food. When I spoke to someone, I actually listened instead of planning what to say next. When I walked, I noticed the buildings, the sounds, the details I usually ignored. And time stretched. My days felt richer, fuller. Not because I had more hours, but because I was actually living in them. And that's when I understood. Time is the most valuable thing we have. We can't stop it, but we can make every day count. So here's my challenge for you. Do something different tomorrow. Anything. Change your route. Try a new food. Text someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Pay attention to your life. And then come back and tell me, did it feel different? And if you want more ways to take back control of your life, subscribe to Boosty Mind. Because your time is too precious to let it slip away.